Hey guys, Tisha here, and we're back to discuss Sister Wives, but this time it's something different. I came upon this article based off of content from Auntie's Advice, which is a channel on YouTube where she reviews different videos, and one of them that I watched from her the other day was her rewatch. And she mentioned this article that she read, and I'm gonna put the link to the article under the description section in case you all want to look at it, but I'm basically going to be reading majority of it. And the article is talking about how the sister wives have managed to do the same thing that their mothers have done when it came to how they've managed relationships. So we start off with Mary. We know that Mary's mom has passed, and Mary's mom's name was Bonnie. Bonnie was the first wife of James Barber. It was Bonnie who convinced her husband at the time to join the faith and to add more wives. Mary, we know, is supposed to be in one way or the other, because sometimes Cody will say it was Mary, and then sometimes we hear that his mom is who introduced polygamy. But either way, we know that Mary is the one who solicited the different wives on behalf of Cody. According to the family's memoir, Becoming Sister Wives, the story of an unconventional marriage, Mary's father had married a total of 5 wives. Out of the 5 relationships, I don't know how many, maybe someone in the comment section who's read the book can let me know, but out of the 5 relationships, some wives did leave. And even though all these other wives left, Bonnie, Mary's mother, never left her husband's side, which is a lot like Mary. This cycle started a long time ago when you think about it, because despite all the things Mary's been through, even though we know at one point Mary was thinking about leaving, she'll say that she wasn't going to leave, but she got really close to it when the whole catfish thing happened. She still kind of stuck by Cody, because to go this amount of time without, being in a functional marriage and still be with him and still be concerned about how he's going to feel about certain things, very much is similar to her mother. Mary has been close to leaving Cody because of the lack of intimacy, but her commitment to Cody has remained for what now seems like it's been 7 years since they were intimate. And I'm just saying 7 years based off of Cody in this most recent episode in season 18, saying that he and Mary are just now getting on a decent space where they could even be friends. And it's taken 7 years for that. So that's where I'm getting the number 7 from. Could be more, could be less. I'm just going off of that. We know that a lot of us feel like Mary deserves better, but Mary has to want better. And I feel like part of the problem with Mary is that because she's so ingrained in her faith, and because she's so religious, and because she really believes in this, it has skewed her way of thinking. Because I don't know why, but I feel, and I know some things about polygamy. I remember in college, in my religious studies class, that we learned some things about polygamy, but I will say that there's a lot that I don't know. But part of what I didn't like originally about it is a lot of times it seems like the woman is made to be felt like less than. In any religion that is telling you that you need to work on just being a better wife to your husband and sticking with him no matter what, even though we've seen Cody do the things that he's done. I don't know. But I'm not the person to talk about religion, because if I'm honest, I pick and pull from everybody. I think that nobody has it completely right. Just me being transparent. We get to Janelle's mom, Cheryl. Janelle's late mother, because she passed also, Cheryl, was married to a Robert. which is Janelle's father, for 5 years, and he died. She then married another man, a Maryland Bartholomew Friar, and she was with him for most of her life, but then she eventually divorced him. After her divorce, she became what Janelle calls an independent spirit, which to me is what Janelle is trying to aim for now. And she was just, doing her own thing. She wasn't initially interested in becoming a polygamist, but after meeting the love of her life, as Janelle puts it, she was soon added as another wife. So when she met Cody's father, Mr. William Brown, that's when she was added to be another wife. Now, according to the article, she was his third wife. I don't know how true that is, because I remember hearing about, her being an additional wife as in the episode where we saw them go to the farm to paint and stuff, but I don't recall hearing that there were 3 wives. So I'm going to just say 2. If you guys know how many exactly it is, let me know. And she stayed with him for the remainder of his life before he passed. I don't understand why it took so long for some of this information to come out, because Janelle in the first season made it very clear that she didn't have any support from her family when she married Cody. But then we later found out that she did have her mother support, because her mother married Cody's dad a few months before she married Cody. We know that Janelle at this point has been married twice. She was married to Adam Barber, who is Mary's brother, for 2 years. And then she became spiritually married to Cody. Now, at this point, when the article is written, it's saying it's been for 29 years. We then have Christine. Christine's mother is Annie. We know that Christine has officially divorced Cody after 26 years of marriage. We find out that Christine's mother, Annie, left her husband, whose name is Rex, at about 25 years of marriage. Another similarity that the article is stating that they have is both Christine's mom and Christine both feel like their marriages started falling apart once another wife was added. I don't know if Christine has straight came out and said that. I know that she attributes some of it to the addition of another wife, but I do believe that there were other things that came into play there when it came to Christine. This kind of makes me feel like maybe seeing what her mother went through and how things ended, maybe that was one of the reasons why Christine wanted to be the last wife. Christine left Cody and moved to Utah when Truly was 11. We find out via the article that Christine's mom, Annie, did the same thing, except that it was not just one daughter, it was her youngest daughters that she brought with her during the separation. Another similarity is that both of them, after leaving their husbands, they left the church and they left their faith. And they denounced polygamy. Now, I will say that I feel like Christine left her faith before she even left, because the family has stopped going to their church. I don't remember if it was once they came out. I know they didn't go in Vegas, because I remember them assembling and having church together, and how that was a big to-do for them to get dressed up and stuff, just for some basic stuff that I don't really... It's a reason why sometimes you need to be outside of your house to have religious, even club activities. Certain things just require a different change in environment, in my opinion. But I feel like Christine left before that. I really want to know what Christine and her mother experienced that made them decide to not just leave their husbands, but their faith. If Christine were to write a book by herself, or even if Christine and her mother were to write a book where they talked about like the misconceptions of polygamy or things that they learned from polygamy without it causing too much problems for Christine, I'd love to read it, because I feel like Christine has a lot to say. And she, if it weren't for the strength of her children, I think we would have heard of a lot of it by now. Okay, now we get to Robin's mom. Robin's mom, her name was Alice Sullivan. Now, keep this in mind, right? We know that Robin's mother has been previously married, just like Robin. But I'm going to read what the article says about this. So, Robin was married to David Jessup, and she was in a monogamous marriage from 1999 and got divorced in 2007. So, if I'm doing the math quickly in my head, that's about 8 years, right? So, Robin, according to Cody, is the go-to for marriage. Like, that's the person that everybody should talk to. She's great at communication. She knows so much about polygamy and all these other things. She is just the person. Yet, Robin has a shorter marriage at the time that she enters the marriage than any of the other women. 8 years. That's half of the time that when we started seeing Robin appear, that Christine and Cody were married. Because at that point, Christine and Cody were married for 16 years. So keep all of this in mind. Her mother, Alice Sullivan's first marriage was also, like her daughter, monogamous. Robin and her mother both, we know, got divorced. After Robin's mother remarried, she was married to a Paul Sullivan as a second wife. So remember, you guys, Robin's maiden name was Sullivan. That was not her biological father's last name. That is her stepfather's last name. Okay, you guys see where I'm going, right? So, in the family memoir, Robin recalls her mother and stepfather having a honeymoon experience that lasted years and years. First of all, how does Robin know what her mother and father had unless this was what was described by her mom? I believe that Robin was taught early on to make sure that her husband was happy, even at the cost to me of her wives. Because even though they pushed that they were polygamous, we've heard in other, I can't remember if it was other seasons or just talk, we know that Robin was not raised in the same household as the other polygamous families, that her father would go from location to location to see them. They didn't grow up the way that the Browns grew up, which is part of the thing that was appealing to her, because she liked the idea of all the families being able to be together. Okay, so according to Robin, in the memoir, her father was replaced by her stepfather by whom she was raised. I emphasize the word replaced because this is the same thing that this woman did to her children. The same thing that Robin's mother did to her in regards to her stepfather is the same thing that Robin did to her children in regards to Cody. She replaced David Jessup, which is the children's biological father, with Cody within a matter of months. Think about it, right? Don't forget that in season 1, Shortly after, Robin moved into her house that was up the street from the big house. Robin is seen showing, I believe it was Brianna, or maybe it was Aurora, a picture with Cody and the other wives in it. And then when she was introducing them, like saying, who is that? And she's like, that's Mom Mary, that's Mom Janelle, that's et cetera, et cetera. When she got to Cody's picture, she said Cody, and she corrected her and said, who? And she said, Daddy. So before they even got married, Robin was encouraging her children to call this man, who she had only known for a matter of months, if the timeline that they're telling us is accurate, Daddy. Cody stepped into the role of father for Dayton, Brianna, and Aurora, and even legally adopted them. Because she got married to sign that paper for divorce so she could supposedly keep the kids in the family and make sure that if anything happened, that they'd be good and that they could stay in the family and that they could have the Brown last name. So Robin changed their last names from their biological father's last name of Jessup to Brown. And her mother did the same exact thing. She changed her children, biological Robin, I don't know how many siblings, but she changed Robin, we're talking about Robin here, her last name to Sullivan. Which, as I said earlier, is why Robin's maiden name was Sullivan, even though that's not her biological father's last name. So, I don't want to say the G word. So the period of trying to enter into this family and I'm going to say prey on them, because I feel like that's kind of what they did, worked for Robin. And Robin got exactly what she wanted, which is exactly what her mother had. It's kind of, when I read the article, I was like, it's so interesting how sometimes certain things along family lines, even if it's something that you're trying not to do, it replicates itself. Now, doesn't happen all across the board, because I'm not following down the same footsteps as my mother. At my age, my mom was already married. Well, married, divorced, and remarried, if I'm being technical, at the age that I am. So I'm not saying that things always repeat themselves, but in this case, it is interesting to see how all four of the wives have followed in their mother's footsteps, maybe knowingly or unknowingly. You guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Once again, I'm going to make sure that I give credit to the person who wrote this article. Her name is Julia Odom. I'm going to attach the link because I want to make sure that I give credit where it's due, and you all will be able to read it for yourself. And she put way more. She put more in there than what I read. And of course, I added my own spin to some things. But, you know, if you get a chance, give it a read. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I'm going to try and watch another episode so I can have that either uploaded tonight or by tomorrow morning. And until next time.